Bear me off here. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honors to the sincere elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, because that's where I learned this truth from. And I want to give double honors to all the other elders, giving us that non-stop energy, the Wadiyah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash, because you see what's going on. Prophecy is spilling out on the page. We're seeing new implications, but the Lord is here. He's visiting this place. He's showing that He's about to deliver His people. So the Wadiyah Ba'ashim Yahushai, that we even have a chance of this, even the experience, to be in this truth. So the Wadiyah Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Akakodash, the Wada, because we're in a state of war and pestilence. So let me grab this. This is Luke chapter 21. I'm going to start at verse 13. And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle therefore in your heart not to meditate before what ye shall answer. Because what's going to happen? We are coming in the time that they're going to start arresting us. We're going to come in the time that we're going to be in jail. And you see, in times of war, they get all political and all people that are given not into the beast system. They're going to arrest them. Let me grab this. Bear with me. Let me grab this real quick. Salakia. Just getting everything ready. This is Revelation. See, I was on it. So he said that we're going to be put in testimony. We're doing, because when we're in an active war time, the Lord, a spiritual war, a realm against realm, people against one people, and all this stuff. So when you go in times of war, what happens? That they take all the political adversaries and they go against them. This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, which is the deceiver, which is the so-called white man, shall cast some of you into prison. Some of us are going to get arrested right before this, when this wartime happening. So what's going on in Britain? We're going to go into that a little bit. That Britain's sending the troops to the UK. And what is that meaning? That now that World War III is close. It's close. World War III. And because those are implications that they're not actually sending. They're sending it into the Ukraine. And they're going to be training the Ukrainians, training over there. Just as, we don't get into it, just as they're also sending ships to the Black Sea. They're doing this in purpose. So we understand when war happens, what happened in World War II. The Americans arrested a bunch of Japanese citizens and put them in an internment camp. So look at, this is Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried. So some of us are going to be in these times in an internment camp. We're going to be in a concentration camp. FEMA's on all these things. This is going to happen. So that's why the Lord said, think not when we put on trial. Think not what you're going to say, because now it's all through the Spirit. The Lord's going to do it. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. And now what is it? Perfected? Because completion is 7. But thou shalt be faithful be faithful unto death, and I will give you a crown of life. He that have ears, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches. He that overcome shall not be hurt of the second death. You're not going to be able to heal. I mean, you're going to be delivered right before that, right before the seventh trouble. You're going to be delivered. You're not going to be able to feel these thermonuclear destruction, because that's what's going, and that's ultimately what's going to happen to this place because of this war. So the Wadiyah Bashim Al-Shai. Continuing in Luke chapter 21, verse 14. So this is what? Settle it therefore in your heart, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth of wisdom. So this is what happened. Are you seeing all these things happen? That's the Spirit. Listen, be patient until what is happening, what the Lord is going to be speaking to you. Because has anybody come up to men of the Lord and confounded them? Look at all the things that they were saying World War III is not going to happen. Well, look, it's right there on the table. Look what they said that, the MOTB is right there on the table. The Lord said he's going to give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolk and friends. This is because it's war. When you have ration, when you put people in tough situations, that's how you know who that person really is. It's like an army. Like when you're in the game Survivor. Hey, Shalom, Elder Yabashim Yashar Brakatah. Shalom, Elder Sagalah. Brethren, kinfolk, and friend, and some of ye shall they cause to be put to death. But going into it, why I'm bringing this out, because you're going to be put in the jail. You're going to be put in jail. Let me read it again. Fear none of these things, thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be faithful unto death, and I will give ye a crown of life. So when you're in this prison sentence, because right before a war, every time they put their political figures into it. So now we're going into why that war is happening, and it's pretty much a sure thing. Now, well, it's sure because it's biblical prophecy. So let me grab some precepts and then understand that Britain going, because they're not actually going to the Ukraine, they're there for the training. So just as Vietnam, when Vietnam happened, that's how Vietnam started. They brought trainers over there. Yeah, Con Elder. They brought trainers over there in Vietnam. And what happened? Somehow the trainers got attacked, bombed, and then that was an act of war, and it was Vietnam's fault. They're also bringing ships, United States, and them bringing ships in the Black Sea, because Russia's winning. Russia is literally winning because they stopped the production of grain in the Black Sea. So this is what that war is, pretty much a war of attrition, and Russia is winning very good. So look what's happening. Hey, Shalom, Gajia Gabar. Yahba Shimel Shai Brakatah Shalom King. So let me grab this. So this war of attrition that now Russia's winning, they have to send. And they're using these tactics that they did in Vietnam. So when they get attacked, what's going to happen? So this is biblical prophecy. This is... let me grab this first then. And I grab Joel. We already know. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14. The great day of the Lord is near. Why war? That battle Jehoshaphat, the battle of Armageddon, all these states are coming. That valley of decision that the Lord is bringing forth. It is here. The deliverance of his people. It is near. Haste greatly. And that doesn't mean be making hastily decisions, but you gotta be more, now we're at the end of the marathon, you gotta pick up the pace. Even the voice. Actually, I wanted something before that. Oh yeah, Salakia, I'm gonna start up. This is Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 11. How, ye inhabitants of Meshach, and what is that? That is which is why Russia's winning, and why the United States, their economy is going, because this was a porting place where a lot of imports would go through. All these things. Well, now that stop is being stopped. Now the power and the hegemony of the ruble, or whatever the currency they're using, that's being strong. And the U.S. dollar is being weakened. And now they're fighting. So this was a war on superpowers that the Lord put forth to cause them to do this. So they're howling, for all the merchants of the people are cut down, and all they that bear silver are cut off. Hey, Shalom, Yawanathan. Yabashim al Sharbrakathan. And it shall come to pass. So, the point is in 14, but we're going to get this because this is the stress. That's why we're supposed to haste and we're going to be put in jail. And who are the Lord's going to deliver and give you a wisdom that gainsay nor resist? These people. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles, with this word, the angels. Light is seeing, hey, it's wartime. You already know that when war is happening, what do? They arrest all their all their political adversaries that are against war, and they start putting that propaganda machine. That's when that famine of the word is going to come. Because of war. And the Lord is a God of war. So this is a stage that the Lord is very, very understanding for. And he's making us as is. Warriors of the truth. Soldiers. And punish the men that are set on his leash, the ones that are not in this war, and the ones that are just watching it go by, not warning the people, not sharpening the sword, not doing all the stuff, set on their leaves. That say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Well, he's doing both. He's going to do good to his people, and he's going to do evil to all these nations, because war is on the horizon. Therefore, their goods shall become booty, and their houses desolate. And they shall also build houses, but not inhabit in them. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink of the wine thereof. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near. Hastenly great. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry bitterly. So it doesn't matter how strong you can be training all your life in the art of war. Like, hey, yeah, but you don't have this truth. You ain't about that. You're not really about it, because you're about to see things that this is not a regular war. This is a war on a war that end all wars on Babylon. On this Edom, on Earth. Because we might have wars in other. Well, at least it might be wars in other planets, but not on this planet. This is. This is 2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 31. I'm going to start at 30. And it shall come to astonishment that the earth dwelleth. All right, I'm going to start a little bit up more. Verse 26. Same as he who God the highest have kept a great season, by which his own self shall deliver his creature. And those are the ones not set on their leads. Let me grab. Hey, Shalom, Athena. Yabashim al Shai Brakatah. Oh, let me grab this from the elder. This is Salakia. Can't see. Oh, this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 4. Hear me. The noise of the multitude in the mountains, like as a great people, a tumult, noise of the kingdom of the nations gathered together. The Lord hosts mustered the hosts to the battle. So he's getting everyone ready, gathering up for a war, not just a regular war. And it sounds loud. You know, when you hear a bunch of troops, that's why they would always say, like in like poetry on war, they said, well, like our Xerxes, he said that arrows so that they are dark in the sun, or it sounds so loud it sounds like thunder. And that great war that the Lord settled on all these nations, gathering all these nations. I'm gonna grab that too in Joel the 2nd chapter and 3rd. And they come from a far country from this is talking about the nuclear weapons, Salakia. Bear with me. This is talking about, those are also a part of the Lord's army. And it's going to be loud, whistling, and you're going to see a giant explosion on Babylon the Great. That's what that's talking about, these nuclear weapons, because that's a part of the Lord's army. From the end of the earth, even the weapons of the Lord's indignation to destroy the whole land. So he's getting these ready, because you know all these nations are about to gather and shoot their missiles on Babylon the Great. And that's because, let me grab that. They're about to shoot these missiles on this place. And why? Because this is the Lord's weapons. He said his army. This is Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coal in the fire, that bringeth forth the instruments of his work. I have created the waster to destroy. This is his army. This is his things. And it's going to destroy a huge part, the 10th part of the city. So continuing, actually I want to grab that in Zechariah, just to make the point, and then I go back and finish that precept the elder put on. This is, and the same he of God the highest kept a great season by which his own self shall deliver his creature, and he shall order them that are left behind. And this is not talking, when they say left behind, you know, they try to put that doctrine. This is the rapture and all that stuff. No, that was talking about the apostles back in the day when they had to be on the earth and they had to go through all these things. Not talking about the rapture is going to happen. There's going to be people after it. That doesn't make sense. Oh, and the elder put it. And whereas thou sawest that out of his mouth they came a blaster of wind, fire, and storm, and that he held neither sword nor any instrument of war. Because when the Lord comes, he's going to come on a chariot. He's going to come in a cloud with an army. As the nuclear bombs, ICBMs are dropping. And he's not going to have these weapons like Esau. He's going to be coming with laser beams, delivering his people and melting the people that are against him. By the rushing of him, destroying the whole multitude that came to subdue him. Because, you know, they're going to try to fight. Let me jump up. I'm gonna drop back down, but I forgot to get this. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all that which was gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid. Khan. There was a Shalom Nathan. Yeah, the elder is lighting it up. Sore afraid. Shalom Nathan, Yahbashim al-Shabrakatah. But does fight. They're going to be scared, but they're going to come and try to subdue him. And the Lord is going to destroy them. This is his interpretation. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver that are upon the earth, and he shall come a astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another. So you're going to be, it's going to be it's going to be a complete war zone. First of all, you're not going to be able to freely move to it. That's what they call martial law. That's called wartime law. You're not going to be able to go. So when you see people have resources in one city and the other, you're going to be, these rich neighborhoods, they're going to be attacked or by the poor neighbors. It's going to be against one place against another, one people against another. It's going to be, you're going to see it, sedition like no other, and one realm against another. This is not just a regular war. This is a war against realms, against people. So continuing, to destroy the whole land. How ye for the day of the Lord is at hand, and it shall come as destruction from the Almighty. It's going to come in perfection. All these merchants are going to howl for battle when they see it, and see that it got destroyed in 1 hour. Grab that. Let me grab these precepts first, and I grab it. This is Isaiah chapter 54, and the sounds so nice, gotta say it twice. Shout out to Malak La'ah, the Wadi Yabba Shemal Shine, Lord willing, he's all well. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coal, that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. I have created the waster to destroy. The Lord put the spirit on Oberyn Biker or Oberyn, whatever the fuck his name. They had a movie on it. Put a spirit on Albert Einstein to steal that formula from a Jake. He got the war of all wars. Yeah, that kind. The war of all. The Lord put the spirit on Albert Einstein to steal that from the Potten office, because you know he got it from the Jake. They're not smart, because that's an energy program. I mean, that's an energy formula for like, but they're using it for weapons, just an Esau Edom. He put it on them. There's an M equals MC squared. And so they can create it, so they can have this weapon, so the Lord can use it to judge Babylon the Great. Thus said the Lord. You know why? Because this is Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. And the Lord is a man of war, and the Lord is his name. And what is, you ever seen Sun Tzu, The Art of War? Fighting without fighting. The Lord hadn't even put up a weapon yet. He used his messengers, which is, Esau tries to copy the Most High with espionage and all that stuff. They tried to use these secret, sleeper cells. And the Lord Ben did it. What do you think the prophets are? We're going to wake up in a land we didn't know with all the information and the Spirit of the Lord talking in code, because these people can't understand the code of this Bible, to tell them their downfall. Is that not the greatest war tactician ever? And also, a lot of the war tactics was stolen from Jake, because that's where the Lord got. But that's what the Lord is. He's a man of war. So let me grab that. Because when this place is destroyed, actually, let me grab this first, and then I grab Isaiah, the 18th chapter. This is Revelation, the 18th chapter. Because that destructions happen. This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear the judgment that's coming upon him. The war that the Lord is bringing on this place, waging on this entire earth, on this realm. And all that therein the world, all the things come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, his righteous anger. Yeah, it's Khan, J. Robert Oppenheimer. Yeah, that's his name. And I think that's the one that also said, he's the one that said, we have become destroyers of worlds. And in the practice, they would call it the Manhattan Project. That's what they were working, and they would call it. Like, that's why you get that scientist, Dr. Manhattan, and I don't know the significance of the name Manhattan, so let me look at it, because, they do everything in code. And where did they get that? They got it from the Lord. Look at Manhattan. It refers into English churning, stirring, agitating, deep pondering over something for an acquisition of knowledge. See, it's code. This is what they did. So the agitation. So look at what the Lord, that's how cold the Lord is. And his fury is upon all their armies. He has utterly destroyed them, and he shall deliver them to the slaughter. And you know why? And they're scared about it. 144. They're scared about it, but they shall be scared, but does fight. Because they know that this is their only freedom, because now their children are going to be in slavery. And all their men are going to be destroyed. And their wives are going to be concubines. So they're going to fight no matter, because they know that it's never going to be another heathen rulership after the Lord puts this power on them. Their slain shall be cast out. Their stink shall come out of their carcasses. You're going to be seeing, there's going to be a lot of dead bodies. There's going to be so much that there's going to be like dung on the ground. Who's going to be able to bury them? Nobody's going to be able to comfort them. No, it's going to just be dead bodies scattered everywhere until the Lord clears it up with this thermonuclear destruction. And the mountains shall be melted with blood, these governments, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll. So you ever seen those mushroom clouds? They're saying, and that's not talking about the heavens of the thing. No, that's talking about this kingdom. All the way up to the sky, all the way, you're going to just see a giant mushroom cloud. And everything's going to be completely and utterly melted. And what are you doing anything about it? That's why the Lord is searching this place and seeing where his soldiers is at. He's seeing with candles. That's why that's in there. And all the hosts shall fall down, and the leaf shall fall off from the vine, and the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. And that's how the Lord pleads with all flesh. Let's grab that. Like churning, Manhattan also is a Hindi word, skyscript word. It means churning, like stirring up. So he said he stirs up the meat. That's beautiful, man. Thawadi Bashim al Shah. But let me grab this. This is Isaiah chapter 66, verse 16. For by fire and by the sword, war, and the thermonuclear destruction, death, this is how he's going to plead with all flesh. The slain of the Lord shall be many. There's going to be a lot of dead bodies. Actually, let's start up. Verse 15. Behold, the Lord come with fire, with his chariots like a whirlwind, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury. When the Lord comes and he cracks those clouds, and you see his godly presence of the Yahushua coming out, and every eye is going to see him, shooting those laser beams, pleading with these people, what are you going to do? Render his fury, and to rebuke them with flames of fire, melted them with these thermonuclear ICBMs hit in this place. For fire and by sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. And they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, eating swine flesh, and the abomination of the mouth shall be consumed together, said the Lord. And even our people, the ones that are not doing the right thing, those 2/3, they're going to be melted. They're going to be tried. Just to get that point, and then go back to Isaiah. So they're trying to sanctify themselves with Esau's ways. This is not doing the right way. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass in all the land. Because you got to understand, when you're in a war, you got to get out all the traitors. That's why the Lord's judgment is going to start with the house of the Lord. You have to get unified. The morale has to be picked up. And so out of the Lord per mouth, he's going to give us power like no other. He's showing how powerful he is. And he shall come in the land, all the land, said the Lord. 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but a 3rd part shall be left therein. And I will bring fire, I will bring the 3rd part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined. And I will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. And I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, this is the Lord. Let me grab this. They said, because if you hear that all this stuff is happening, and then I go back to Isaiah the 3rd, just breaking down that point. This is Isaiah, 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night, and in which the heavens shall pass away with great noise. And we just heard that army coming and hitting this place, that which is going to be like, what is it? How did it go again? Let me grab it. This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 4. For the noise of the multitude as a great people, as a tumult of the noise of the kingdom of the nations, gather together. The Lord of hosts muster the hosts. They shall come far from country, so the noise of the multitude. So we know that this is how it's going to pass. So this is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. And the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. Nobody's going to expect it. And in which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, and the elements shall melt away with fervent heat. In the earth also, and the works therein, there shall be burnt up. Seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, how are they sanctifying themselves? That's why they're going to be destroyed. They're sanctifying themselves with pig's flesh. Grab it. Purifying themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh and abominations. The mouth shall be consumed together, said the Lord. So, but we, the ones that are not set on their leaves, continue to push forth. How are they? Seeing all these things that shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Looking and hastily unto the coming of the day of the Lord, Zephaniah the 1st chapter, the day of God, wherein the Most High Yahweh, wherein the heaven being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall be melted away with fervent heat. Isaiah chapter 34 again, verse 5. For my sword shall bathe in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. And where is that? Are they in that place now? No. They're talking about the Edomites. Preferably this place of Babylon the Great, which is going to be destroyed by this place. He is going to destroy this empire, because most of these nuclear ICBMs are going to hit this place of Babylon the Great, which is the Idumean Empire, which is also it's going to hit places in Britain. It's going to hit especially the Holy Land. It's going to hit all the wicked. All the wicked shall die. Let me grab it. So bear with me. I know I don't have Malachi in this book. This is Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, all that do wickedly, shall be stubble. So unless you're an elite class, like the what's his name, Rothschilds, the Merovingians, the kid, all these wicked, ugly, dirty ass families, Esau, Edom, you guys are probably, and you're an Edomite, and especially if you're in Babylon the Great, you're going to be melted and shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up. Because, those elite class, they're going to be the first crops of slaves. They're going to be in the bunkers, and they're going to get their teeth kicked in and be working for us for nothing, because they're going to be slaves. And they shall leave them neither root nor branch. So continuing, Isaiah the 34th chapter. And upon the people of my curse to judgment. The Lord said he was going to that they were going to build, but I will throw down. That was the curse that the Lord put on them from the beginning, since the days of Cain, that they're going to be a vagabond, and no place and all that stuff. And what did he say after he gave a blessing to Esau? They said they're going to have the fatness of the earth. But then what's going to happen? That we're going to break that yoke off of them, and we're going to put them in. They're going to serve us. The younger shall serve me. The older shall serve the younger. What was that? Let me grab this first. This is what the Lord said. The people of his curse. This is. Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't have Malachi in this. I literally don't have the whole book of Malachi. This is Malachi chapter 1. This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 2. I have loved you, said the Lord. Yet ye said, whereas hast thou loved us? We're not Esau's brother, Jacob's brother, said the Lord. Yet I have loved you. I have hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage wasted for the dragons of the wilderness. Why does he say that? Because what is the end of Babylon the Great going to be? This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 28. Almost 20. Verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, which is Babylon, the beauty of the Chaldeans excellently, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And he set an example. How did that place end? He put fire and brimstone upon it, destroying it, making it nothing. What's up? And it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt from generation to generation. So this place is going to be completely destroyed, as what the Lord said. Shall make his mountains. Well, let's just grab it again. I didn't finish it anyway. Slakia, but I want to talk more about that British situation, because that's the active watch. When that attack happens, and watch, they should be training, and now it's Russia's fault that we're in war. And they're going to try to get that and put that. They're doing the witchcraft just like they did in Vietnam. But this is verse 3, Malachi 1, verse 3. I have hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage wasted for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Esau said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, and what do they? They built Babylon the Great, the excellency of the Chaldeans, that great city, which they call, which all these people have taken and committed fornication with them. They shall build, and I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. So the people that the Lord had a curse on forever. And the people against whom the Lord has indignation, look, the people of his curse, the people whom the Lord have indignation forever. And your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, the Lord will magnify the borders of Israel, the borders of righteousness. Our eyes, if we be of that number, shall see the judgment of the wicked. So let's grab that. That's why the Lord said, precept upon precept, there a little, my bad. I didn't know I was going to talk about the third. I was talking war, but we don't get into that Joel, the 2nd chapter. That's what I want to come. I want to talk about. It's on the horizon. But let me grab this. He said, it's in Jude, but I already know I don't have Jude in that too, man. Like this weekend, I'm gonna buy a new Bible with Akia, Lord willing. I just don't have anywhere to go so I can get a Bible because I don't have a car. I get it in this. This is Second Peter chapter 2 verse 6. And turning the city of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after shall live ungodly. And how is that? They were melted and become a pillar of salt. And everyone that looked back, everyone that's going and coming back to Egypt, they're going to be as blacks white. Melted. And ones that are sanctified on their leaves because they like of this world, they're going to be melted too. So Isaiah chapter 13 verse 19 again, Babylon, they said the place that they built, they're going to build, but what the Lord said he's going to throw down. The glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans of excellency shall be as when God, Yahweh, Yahushua, overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah through fire and brimstone. Shalom, Kalab, Yahweh, Shemal, Shabrakatah, Shalom, hope, grace, and mercy. Yeah, man, you're talking about those new bodies. I definitely needed my fucking, man. But the Lord willing, after brothers, I said that on the chat, it's been hurting for a couple days. Like, I think you brothers threw prayers up because it stopped hurting. And I have nerve pain in that too because I broke it, but my dental care is going to go in a couple of weeks. And it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwell in for generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch their tent there. Why? Neither shall the shepherds make their fold. You know, the Arabians, which means, like you look up the word, it means a mixed mode, like a mixture. But like those Elam, they always have something, those Elams, or whatever mean, Ismail, they're always selling shit. They always have like liquor stores and all that stuff. Well, they're not going to be able to pitch there. They're not going to make no money over here. They're going to howl because of this place is going to be thrown through. No generation, neither shall a shepherd make a fold. There's not going to be no farm. There's not going to be nothing here. But wild beasts and deserts shall lie there, and their house shall be full of doleful creatures. What did the Lord say to them? They shall build, but I shall throw down. And owls shall dwell there, and the sapphires. I think those are vultures. I'm not sure if anyone. The sapphires shall dance there, and these wild beasts of the islands shall cry a desolate house, and the dragon their pleasure palace. And the time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. It's going to be destroyed. So this is Isaiah again. Back to the point. Verse 5. For my sword shall bathe in heaven, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse and judgment. He said, they shall have indignation of the Lord's indignation forever. They said, Amalek, which is the chief house, shall be have a perpetual. They shall have war with the Amalek for all generations. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It's going to be so much that it's a parable. Let's just grab it. Because it's a dark saying, because Yahushua is not going to actually be covered in blood. You know? And that's our high priest. Man, he going to be clean. He said, this is Isaiah chapter 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? That this glorious in his apparel, glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel? Thy garment is like it treadeth in the wine fat. The red, like it was bleached, but nope. I mean, not bleached. What is it called? When it's stained. I have trodden the winepress alone, and the people there were none of me. I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall speak upon my garment, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of redeem is come. This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 6. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness and with the blood of the lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams, for the Lord has a sacrifice in Basra. This is Isaiah the 34th chapter. And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And upon the unicorns shall come down these internets, these satellites, all this stuff. You know, they have this, what's it called? Direct energy weapons, where they're trying to copy from the Lord, his laser beam. They're going to be brought down. The internet and all that stuff, we won't need it. We're going to have better technology. And the bullets with bulls, and the land shall be soaked with blood, and the dust made fat. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. Saying that they're the people, trying to destroy our people, putting all these things. This is what's going to happen. So, going into that point, this is Joel. Chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound the alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. That's what we're doing. Not setting, we're blowing the trumpet. We're seeing and showing that the Lord is coming to put power upon this place. He is showing that he is here. He's put a judgment on this place. A day of darkness and of gloominess. A day of clouds and thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and strong. They have not been ever like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of a many generation. A fire devour them, and behind the flames, the land of the Garden of Eden before them, behind the desolate wilderness, yes, nothing shall escape. Nothing, if you're not controlled by the Lord, if you're not doing the Lord's work, you're not going to be escaped. All of it's going to come down, destroy everything about Esau, all this place. And the appearance of it is the appearance of a horse, and horsemen shall it run. And the noise of the chariot on the top of mountain shall they leap. And their noise, flame of fire, devouring stubble, and a strong people shall battle array. Talking about these thermonuclear destruction. So this is why the Lord said this. This is Joel chapter. I'm going to go down, still in 2. Before the face of people shall be much pain. All the faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the walls like men of war. They shall march everyone his way and shall not break rank. What is that? These thermonuclear missiles coming. None of them is going to break. All of them is going to hit their target. Every one of them is going to come in the way the Lord sent it. That's what the Lord said. This is going to happen. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb walls. Walls like men of war. They shall march everyone on his way, and they shall not break rank. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in its path. And when they shall fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city, and shall run upon wall, and shall climb houses, and shall enter into the widow like a thief. And the earth shall quake before them, and the heavens shall tremble. Why is it? Let me grab it. Because these thermonuclear missiles, they're not going to break rank, and when they hit the earth, it's going to be great earthquakes. Things are going to be moved out of its place. This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 20. The earth shall ring to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So this is what the Lord is putting forth. This power. Well, the 2nd chapter, these thermonuclear missiles that he's shooting. Verse 10, Joel 2 and 10. The earth shall quake before them, and heaven shall tremble, and the suns and the moon shall be darkened. Because when you have all this smoke and dust, it's going to be up in the air. And what it's doing, it's going to cause a thermonuclear, it's going to be a nuclear winter. But it's not going to be like how they millions of years. No, it's going to clear up real fast. Because the Lord, I don't know the exact time or when it's going to be, but we're going to be coming down and we're going to take over this planet. And the stars shall withdraw their shining, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that execute the word. The day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Who can abide? That's why the prophets, they always say, woe is me! Woe is me! Who shall deliver me in these days? So this Britain thing, as this started, what do you think that's doing? If they get attacked or they go in the Black Sea, which is the United States putting ships, what do you think is going to happen? They get attacked now. It's a wartime. So these is a close. It's not a possibility. It is going to happen. It's just fact. This is the scriptures we're talking about. Said the Lord, turn ye into me. I'm going to jump. Rent your heart and not your garment. Turn into the Lord your God, for gracious and mercy, slow to anger, and great kindness. Repent from ye evils. Who knoweth if he will return and repent? Leave a blessing behind him, even a meat offering, drink offering unto the Lord thy God. This is Joel, the 3rd chapter, verse 2. I will also gather all the nations, and I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yehoshaphat. And I will plead with them. And how does he plead? With the sword and a sword and blood, like fire and blood. I mean, fire and the sword. That's how he will plead with all flesh. And I will plead with them for many people and for many heritages of Israel, for whom they scatter among the nations, and parted my lands. They have cast lots for my people, putting us in slavery, selling us on auction blocks, selling us for muskets, whiskey, and women. All these things that they sold our people for. So the Lord's about to show them, bringing them to the valley of the valley of Yahweh's judgment, which is Yahweh Shaphat. And they have cast in lots for my people, and have given a board for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Being merry, doing it. Oh, we completely took over this people. We control. Nope, the Lord is going to judge you. Thus said the Lord. Ye, what have ye do with me, O Tyre and O Zidon? All that coast of Palestine, will ye render me a recompense? This is the Lord. Will you get paid back what you owe? Nope, you can't. The mission, your payment hasn't reached to the stars. You're never going to pay it back. So we're just going to get a bunch of free labor out of you before we eliminate you. If ye recompense me swiftly, speedily will I return unto the recompense upon you on my own head, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried it into your temples, and my goodly present things. Took on value. You touched the Lord, apple of the Lord's eyes. So the Lord's causing this war to be on this earth. And it's ultimately going to be a judgment on Babylon the Great. It's going to be judgment on this place. Let me grab this. And all the world. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 3. For all the nations have drunken the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth have waxed rich of the abundance of her delicacies. All of them. I have heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. This is talking to us, and that's coming when the missiles hit. And also, we're about to be mentally arise and depart from this place. We have to understand the Lord's coming to destroy this place. So we're not going to bring anything here to the chariots. The Lord willing. And be not partakers of her sins, for she has received not and ye receive not of her place. For her sins, this is why they're never gonna recompense. Because her sins have reached unto the heavens, and God remember her iniquities. Award her even as she awarded you. Double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she has filled, fill her double. So that slavery is going to come in its perfection. This judgment and this death upon you of your children's dashing your kids onto the stones, all these stuff's going to come in its perfection. Double. All this things you're going to get paid, we're going to get paid back double, and then we're going to eradicate you. It's going to be genocide in this world. A real and pure genocide. And that's on the Esau Edom. How much have she glorified herself and lived deliciously to torment and sorrow give to her? For she said in her heart, I sit as a queen. Yeah, a whore. And no widow shall see no sorrow. They think that their generation shall continue forever. Well, no, it's not. This is how it's going to end, with thermonuclear destruction and death and destruction. Thus saith the Lord. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. That's how fast. One day. It's going to take 1 hour to annihilate this place. Death and mourning and famine. She shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judged her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication, live deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Her judgment. Because they were like, oh man, they're coming for us. We about to go into slavery. They're coming for us. Because you guys are going into slavery too. You nations. Standing afar off in the fear of the torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for 1 hour is thy judgment. This is where they'll be crying like, oh man, that blew America, that was a through. That's how long, in 1 hour, through, 60 minutes, through. And they already don't know that we're coming for their ass. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn, because they're not going to be able to make money. It's like, they're not going to do business. We're not. How are we going to make money off of our people or do this thing? Because these heathen can't do anything right. That's why they need subjection. So they're going to be crying because they're like, oh man, we going into slavery. That's what they're pretty much saying. Well, we through. We going into slavery. Because, you know, they've been, all these countries they pretty much have drunk the wine of their fornication by getting this US dollar and being in their economy, this petrodollar, and building up and having this invisible fake ass money, this fractional reserve banking. So that's what they're going to weep. They're not going to be able to make money because this is a consumer country. They pretty much consume almost all the products of the world. China, all these things. This is what? Hey, Shalom, Elder. Yahbashim al Shar Brakatah. Beautiful camp, like always. Double beautiful camp, like always. Stand afar off for the fears of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, that mighty city. For in 1 hour is her judgment come, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her. For no man buyeth their merchandise any more. And the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls, fine linen, purple and silk, scarlet, and all these wood, and all the manners of vessels of ivory, and all these manner of vessels of precious wood and brass and iron and marble. Let's continue. Let's just drop down because it's going to say that. Because all this stuff, you know why? All this they're not, because it's going to all it's all going to go to Israel. It's all going to go to all his people. And they just got it for no reason. So I'm going to just end off with, let me just end off with this. And I'm going to head on. This is verse 16. And saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour some great riches come to naught. It's going to come to nothing. All this stuff, all what Esau Edom is doing, his witchcraft and fighting, that they're sending Britain there, just as they did Britain into the Ukraine, just as they did in Vietnam War. And then somehow it's going to be attacked and kill those British, and now Britain's in. And then now United States is going to be in. And every ship master in all company ships and sailors, as many trade by sea, stood afar off and cried when they saw her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? So the Wadi al-Bashimi al-Shabai Shimakakwadash. And I'm going to end off, Lord willing, was edifying. So with that, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, the Wadi al-Bashimi al-Shabai Shimakakwadash, and Shalom.